Hey folks, we're continuing to do mystery boxes, and this one, not quite a mystery. I actually remember it pretty well because it's definitely some interesting packaging. Someone took a very thin, paperboard dog food box and just wrapped it in cellophane tape. But no harm, no foul. I'm pretty sure what's going to be in here is going to be Martin Jr., which which will be awesome. Let's see if my memory is right on that, and see if we can get it into working condition. And that's always my goal for a mystery box video. Let's see what we got. See what it'll take just to get it working, and then if we need some significant cleanup, we can make a separate video for that. Okay, we got a spade connector on there, and is that spare parts? No, they took the pendulum assembly out before shipping. That's cool. Very thoughtful, especially if you're going to use a dog food box. And I'm certainly not judging anyone for their packaging. If it gets there safe, it gets there safe. But definitely one of the more creative packagings I've seen for a while. Okay, not awful. Seems to have all of the base pieces that we need. Contact, got a circuit closer, 2 stops. It's missing, maybe missing the upper and lower trunnion screws. Maybe they're going to be wrapped up in here. That'd be awesome. But they're not. A little rusty. Doesn't feel awful though. If I had those trunnion screws handy, I could probably get this thing to make a little noise. Let's see, we got some parts in one of the previous videos. I don't think they're gonna be what we need by any chance. We've got a lower trunnion screw. I don't have the upper trunnion screw handy though. So that I will have to find another parts box, or otherwise put it on order. Or, oh, we might be lucky. You know, these stops, I think, are actually the same screw as the trunnion screws. Yeah, these stops, I think, are the same screws as the trunnion screws, albeit a little longer. Let's see if we can capitalize on that and get the exact right parts later. You know, because procrastination is a contact sport. Yeah, it's got the hole in it. It should technically be able to do the job, even if it's not the right part. Is it threaded right for this? It is. Thank you, Vibroplex, for reusing parts. That makes that very easy. Does this have... Yes, that has a stop screw. So let's... make sure that's open. And then we'll get one from our parts here. So sometimes these get a little hard because, you know, these were made pre-1945, which means they did not have jeweled movements, which means the screw can actually get kind of wallowed out, you know, from the trunnion pin riding around, and you know, if it's not properly adjusted, it's really easy to you know, start getting some unusual wear in those. Okay, we got that just sticking through. Now, we know for a fact that these contacts are going to be just straight dirty, so let me grab my All-American contact cleaner here and give that a good rubbing before we even put these together. That may not quite do it justice. I doubt that's going to do it justice, but I can always take these off, take them over to the sink. We might just be able to get contact off of that. We shall see. All right, just a quick break there, but let's see about getting this together. I'm going to go ahead and take the weights off of here. It'll just make getting everything through a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and open the stops up. We'll go ahead and open the spring tension up that far. All right. That actually appears to be working. I've never used one of these stop screws in that position before, but yeah, every time I look at them, I say to myself, gee, that is kind of funny. All right, so this needs to come up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'll just loosen this one and tighten this one, and then loosen that another hair. Need to go just a touch more. That does look funny though, doesn't it? Okay, so that's at the right height. Let's go ahead and get the spring attached here. That was easy. I'm happy with that for now. Let's get that opened up. Let's get this loosened up. All right, first things first, let's get this stop set. What we want to do is move it until the pendulum comes off the damper. like that, and then we want to back it up until it just barely rests on the damper and tighten it down. And then once that is set, we can bring this in to where we're happy with it. Operator's preference, I like to sometimes have a little bit more gap than others. And then let's adjust the spring tension a little bit. That feels pretty good. All right, now for the dit stop, we're just going to bring this in until it just touches. And then I'm going to back it off a turn. Now we'll do another. That was too much. That might work. And then this one we will adjust once we get it hooked up. Let's put some of these tools back in their places. And since this connector is already here, and it looks like it should be clean enough to work, let's go ahead and get out my Bunnell S key, one of my very favorites, and let's just wire it up. And then we'll get the test set key because that's got a nice long wire on it going to the rig. Okay. So what's cool about the Bunnell S key is it has this little bug lip right here. You know, when telegraphy was still a pliable trade, the telegraph office would only provide a straight key, and it was usually a legged key. It was bolted right through the desk, and operators would bring their own bug in. They'd use a connector like this to connect to the office's key. All right, where are we making contact that we're not supposed to be? Right there. The circuit closer was closed. Go figure. Well, this could be a number of things. It could be the connector. It could be the fact that this trunnion pin is really rusty, and it actually that's the metal conductor that, in this case, is going to get the connectivity to the two contacts. In later models, they actually started putting a little copper braid that they would connect from the frame to the lever arm there. But not on these. On these, you know, that was more something they do on the jeweled movements. On these, where it's metal to metal, it wasn't really necessary. I'm just going to assume that that's the main problem. So let's see if we can get this out of here without changing any of our stops, because we already know we're pretty happy with where those stops are. So I'm going to take this completely out. That might give us just what we need. Nailed it. Yep, that's pretty rusty. I am just going to take these over to the sink and knock some of that rust off and see if we can get a good electrical connection. Be right back. All right. Definitely got some of the rust knocked off of there. let's see if that improves our situation any at all. No, not even a little bit. Okay. We do have connection underneath. Cool. And that's still working. So let's go ahead and get this out of it. That's really good and on there. You know, I have a lot more fun with the challenging keys. Okay, it's moving. We have motion. Yay. Huh, those are funny connectors. I don't think I've ever seen one that wide. I like how this is tied on here to keep anyone from accidentally tugging on the wires. Very, very nice. All right, let's just put that back here for now, and let's go ahead and unwire this straight key. And thank you for your services, Vern Key, one of my favorites. Get the rusty one back on the rusty one. Okay. Okay, that made an improvement. Of course, in the process, I knocked everything around, but that's easy enough to fix. Okay. And let's get that spring reconnected. And it was about right there. Put the weights back on. Okay, I cleaned the pendulum side contact when I had it over at the sink. Let me just go ahead and take this one off and do that. I don't think that's gonna come loose with my little baby screwdriver. Negative. Let's get the big boy on there. Nice. And we won't be needing that anymore because I'll definitely tighten it with the little one. Okay. Yep, let's just go get this clean and we'll be right back. Okay. One clean contact later. Maybe we can make it sound pretty nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that'll work. For my taste, I want to tighten that up just a hair. Just checking the alignment on those contacts. Let's bring that stop in just a touch, which means we'll also need to bring this in just a touch. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's see who's on the air. What have I got up here? 80 meters. That sounded like the tail end of a K3Y stroke 8. Yes, it is. SKM anyway. Five, 7, 9. Ohio. Oh, it's Vern NJ8L. Okay, nice. Anybody else on the air? I don't hear anybody. Let's see if this is a clear freak. Maybe we'll just call CQ for a second. See, the key seems to be working pretty good. The feet are okay. They're a little hard, but I do like to keep things original if possible. We'll definitely be cleaning this key up, so we'll decide then if we're gonna put new feet on it or not. But it's got a great feel to it. So let's just call CQ and see what happens. I'm gonna hold it down to keep it from sliding around. Feels like this loosened up just a touch. So we went just a tiny adjustment there. One more time, and then we'll just call it end of video, whether we get a QSO or not. Okay, I lied. I meant to speed this back up a bit. When I heard Vern calling CQ earlier, I went ahead and put a pendulum extension on there just to get down to the speed he was calling at, even though I happen to know he can QRQ with the best of them. But yeah, let's do one more, and I think this is up around 20, 22 words a minute, something like that. Okay, that's me giving up on calling CQ. But wow, what a great find! I really like these. Martin Juniors. The Martin Junior, for anyone that's not familiar, it is a little bit smaller than the base of an original. So there's an original for comparison. It's, what is that? Half an inch shorter and half an inch less wide. Half an inch thinner. Thinner is the word for less wide. So yeah, a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. Especially if you were lugging this back to work at your telegraph office job, that might be really nice for you not to have to carry a 5 or 6 pound key around. This one, that's, I don't know, maybe 3 pounds ish. I don't have a scale right here, but that's my best guess. But yeah, it's got a great feel to it. Got a bunch of rust on it, but that's easy enough to knock off. Let's see what's on the to-do list for this. So I need to get the correct trunnion screw and stop for the top. I need to think about replacing the feet. I don't think I can get them to have any stickiness to them. This I'm going to leave this screw as is. I will knock the rust off of it, but it's not a Vibroplex original, but there's a lot of those floating around. That's not particularly offensive to me. We can leave that as is. Did we test the circuit closer? Circuit closer works. Well, everything on this key just works, other than missing a couple of parts. It was missing both the upper and lower trunnion screws. It's in pretty good shape. I honestly can't complain about that at all. I look forward to using this on the air. But yeah, we'll definitely do a part 2. We'll take this thing apart. We'll get it cleaned up. This is an older key. 826 Broadway, New York is the address on it. Serial number is in the 85,000s. So that's a 1920s key. I'll look up the exact year when we take this thing apart to do part 2. And until then, I hope everybody is staying warm here during the winter. It is January, straight key month. And we will see everybody later.